Welcome back to War of the Lesbian Zombies. In the last episode, Foxtrot Zero launched into action. General Miller's Rangers dropped from the sky as the sisters motored toward Badish Beach in landing rafts from the USS Karmic.
The landing rafts rode the curling swells to shore. The girls jumped out. Brenda grabbed the medical bag. Chloe and Donna carried the folding table. The fake nurses hiked up the beach to a sandy road that wound into the village. Flat-roofed and pitched dwellings sat helter-skelter in the glistening sand. The evil imam was calling his people to morning prayers. Women and men appeared on the road and trudged towards the sound. Let's follow them. Brenda led the way. They came to a sandy area in front of a mosque where men knelt on their rugs to pray. Women waited along the wall. The imam began the morning prayer. The sisters had the same thoughts about this murderer of children. He's going to die a painful death. Brenda read his mind and was surprised to learn he actually believed in his righteousness. Allah demanded a high price for his reverence, a price he was willing to pay with the blood of his brethren. The sisters set up the table and arranged the vials and syringes in a professional manner. The imam rose and turned to his people. Salam alaikum. May peace be upon you. Everyone stood. Today we have nurses from the World Health Organization here to immunize us against a deadly plague that is coming. He strode to the table and handed a list to Brenda. All the names are here. He moved aside. Everyone line up. Men first, women last. The sisters took their positions at the table and formed an assembly line to ready the syringes. The 4 red-cap vials of strychnine were close at hand. Monica would administer the injections. Brenda would manage the list. Name, sir? Sada al-Badir. She checked his name off the list. Maria prepared a saline syringe. Monica administered the injection. The line moved swiftly. Name, sir? Amir Ismat. Name, sir? Ahmed Al-Hakim. He had the skin of a pig and the beady eyes of a desert rat. And these are my brothers, Hassan and Saul. Restraining the urge to rip out their hearts, Brenda calmly checked off their names. Chloe prepared 3 syringes with strychnine from the red-capped vials. Monica administered death to the murderous brothers. May peace be upon you. In about 5 minutes, seizures would strike them down. As the women stepped up, the evil imam pushed them back. Allah Akbar. Women must know their place. Name, sir? Mohammed Abdullah Abadi. Brenda checked his name, then handed Monica a double dose of strychnine. She stabbed the needle into the arm of Jasmine's killer. Robert and his rangers were watching the activity on the ground when Mac reported in. Taliban on the move, sir. He'd been monitoring radio chatter. What the hell? The Karmic's presence got them all in a tizzy. Robert realigned the Landsat. Look at this. All hell's gonna break loose. General Miller and his rangers hadn't even seen a snake move across the desert. Second Squad had hunkered down on the east side of Badish, where the sunshine was brutal. Ground temperature had already reached 100 degrees. What's taking those nurses so long? His satellite phone buzzed. It was General Taylor.
Heads up, Wes. Robert reports Taliban fighters are racing towards you.
How the hell did they know we were here?
They're not happy the USS Karmic is anchored offshore.
Hell. He hung up and activated his two-way. Lock and load, boys. We've got company coming. He'd no sooner said the words when mortar shells whistled in. Monica emptied the syringe into the imam's arm. May death be upon you. Huh? His eyes crossed and he fell backwards. The sisters watched his body go into spasms, legs kicking, back arched. Bubbling phlegm gurgled from his mouth. The women came closer to watch him die. The vaccine came too late for your imam. It was Allah's will. The women cheered. As the imam faded into eternal darkness, Jasmine appeared to him. I am here to take your soul to hell.
No, please, I have been faithful to Allah. I should go to heaven.
Murder in the name of religion is still murder, and you shall pay dearly for your sins against women.
No!
Gunfire rolled across the desert. The Taliban had the high ground, and they could pick off Miller's men like ducks in an arcade.
Medic! Medic!
General Miller had taken cover behind a berm and switched his radio to the Transtar comlink.
Carmack, this is Sand Toad. We need a little help out here.
The USS Carmack unleashed the mighty power of a U.S. Navy destroyer. General Miller's phone buzzed. It was Taylor again.
I'm a little busy right now, sir.
The nurses are done. Cover their retreat, then get the hell out of there.
Yes, sir.
He switched on his two-way.
Fall back, boys. To the beach.
Miller led the way. He came upon 3 local men on the ground, dead from the looks of them. What the hell happened to those guys? A barrage of concussions made them quickly forgotten. In spite of the overwhelming firepower being hurled at them, the Taliban fought back with an RPG attack. A rocket-propelled grenade streaked over the village and flew out to sea.
Holy shit!
Again, fire billowed from the Carmack's cannons. Hell rained down on the Taliban. Despite all the chaos, Wes noticed the heroic nurses running toward the beach. It occurred to him how defenseless they were, how fragile, how much they needed his protection.
Hold this position, boys.
The Rangers dug in and picked off Taliban charging at them from the village.
Second squad, hold our left flank.
Landing rafts hit the beach. He was waving the nurses forward when a bullet tore through his hand. Shocked at first, he didn't feel the pain. But when it hit him, it was like a 2-ton truck to the stomach.
Medic!
He hoped he wouldn't bleed to death on foreign soil. His vision blurred and he felt dizzy. Out of the haze, a redhead in white appeared before him, her visage surrounded by radiant light. She looked at his hand. The bullet went clean through.
Is it bad?
Just don't look at it. She tore a strip of cloth from the hem of her dress as easily as if it were made of paper. Then she did something bizarre. She spit on the wound before she wrapped his hand. "This'll have to do for now." Then she flew to a waiting raft and jumped in. "Who was that angel of the battlefield?" Monica threw herself into the Navy raft. Bullets zinged overhead. Jackie, Melinda, and Chloe were with her as the pilot motored out to sea. More rafts were speeding toward shore. The U.S. Navy to the rescue. Then morality hit her like a board to the chest. How many good men had to die for Jasmine's revenge? A second raft fell into formation alongside hers. Brenda, Maria, and Donna were safely aboard. She turned her gaze out to sea and saw a most horrific sight. Girls' night out was ablaze. Their party boat made a desperate bob in the water, as if reaching up to grasp its last breath, then slipped below the surface of the Arabian Sea. "What happened to our yacht?" "Taliban RPG, ma'am. Direct hit. It was spectacular." "What about our crew?" "They're safe aboard the Karmic." Thank goddess. But she felt suddenly sick, like the adrenaline that belted her body was as poisonous as the strychnine vaccine. "Alphonse is going to kill me." Being a brigadier general, Wes was privy to immediate medical attention. In the infirmary, Captain Marquez greeted him. "Welcome aboard, sir. The doc will look at your hand now." Wes flexed his fingers. Odd, it doesn't hurt a bit. How the hell is this possible? "What happened?" "I caught a bullet, but it feels okay now. I don't understand." The doc took a look. "Nice field dressing. This makeshift bandage is stained with blood, so something is going on in here." He unwrapped the hand. "Interesting." Turned it palm up. Checked the fingers, the wrist. "Sir, there's nothing wrong with your hand." Shock blurred his vision as he stared at his hand, perfectly healed. Events tumbled through his mind. The gunshot, the pain, the blood, the angelic nurse, the spit. Why did she spit on my hand? "What's going on with you, General?" If I tell them I'd come face to face with an angel of the battlefield, they'd think I was suffering from PTSD, relieve me of duty, and lock me up in a loony bin. "Where did that bloody bandage come from?" "I don't know. In the heat of battle, some things can't be explained." "I need to get back to my real patients." "You must have been mistaken, General. Now what do you say we go to the mess deck? Great battles always make me hungry."
The battle is over, but the war has not been won, as you will see in the next episode, 20, the finale of War of the Lesbian Zombies.